All right, welcome back to the New Equity Network Show. I'm Michael Yorba, your host, broadcasting to you live on the Dallas-Fort Worth Business Authority, 1160 AM KVCE. And I'm talking with Chris Bautista, CEO of Thinspace Technology, right here in Dallas. Symbol on this company, THNS. All right, Chris, when we left off, we were talking about the size, the types of companies from the low end to the high end. And I want you to bring that out a little bit because we didn't have enough time to finish that conversation of the types of companies that can seek to reduce the cost, the overhead, and increase efficiency through Thinspace or SkySpace.
Right. So, small offices or small companies that have, few employees but want to quickly create an infrastructure so that they can deliver desktop computing and get their employees working. Those are real easy for us. I mean, a doctor's office, a lawyer office, you have 10 to 50 people that need desktop computing. Our solution helps deliver that quickly and makes it very easy for the IT team to manage. But also, we have clients like a Toyota, for example, that uses our technology to manage several desktops. So you can scale up to thousands of end users and still have a very small team to manage these several thousand desktops, which would normally take almost like an army to help manage.
Now, I'm on your website, and I'm looking at the benefits. Zero configuration to endpoint, complete, secure, productive, and green. Secure, if I may focus in on that one. How do you ensure security? Because corporate espionage I've been affected by it. I mean, how do you do this?
So it's secure because the endpoints, for example, our thin clients, these do not store any corporate data or any data at all. So if it were stolen, I mean, there's no risk of data being stolen. So it reduces the footprint of security exposure. I mean, if you think back, I think it was Home Depot that had their point-of-sale terminals hacked.
Right.
I mean, it was an individual, these endpoints that were hacked that lost millions of credit cards. Within clients and desktop virtualization, all the data is behind the firewall and in the cloud, so that data is not at risk of being stolen.
So you're saying if Target was using your system, that type of thing wouldn't have happened to them?
I believe so. Yeah, all the data is behind the firewall. It reduces the exposure points. It's easier to defend. And yeah, I think the more endpoints you have, it just becomes a security challenge. And
you, if I'm getting this correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, but and you're able to do this, add additional security amongst other features. But let's just stay with this one for a second, at a reduced price and a greater efficiency rate.
That's right.
Give me. I mean, that's like saying how much is a car, but because I'm sure the efficiency and the scalability and the price depends on the size of the company. But give me, if you can, an example of ratios of dollar savings and time efficiency by switching to you.
I mean, a desktop, the cost of managing and implementing a desktop probably goes down by at least a half.
50%?
Yes.
Whoa. Okay, I didn't mean to interrupt, but you just, that's a big number.
Yeah, I mean, PCs are expensive. Thin clients are a lot less expensive, and I know PC prices are coming down. But the real expense is managing these devices, and the cost of an IT team, the cost of just time spent, configuring and troubleshooting. With centralized computing, I mean, you reduce your IT staff, you have a smaller team, they're more effective, and they can work on more strategic initiatives than just troubleshooting desktops. What
is a zero configuration endpoint? For those of us that don't know, bring that out.
So zero configuration, these things are managed centrally. Mm-hmm. So the endpoint doesn't require someone physically touching that device and managing it. I mean, these can be remotely managed behind a console. So, I mean, these thin clients are almost effectively like a dumb terminal.
Really?
But to the end user, it looks as if they have a full-blown desktop.
Wow. Well, this is definitely ahead of the curve technology with what you're doing in processes. How do you take what you've done? Well, you've got this bundled package of savings and improvement in productivity. How do you compete with the big boys with all of the things that they're doing? I mean, that's got to be
yeah. I mean, we are. I mean, there are 800-pound gorillas, and
right.
we're very small. But as I mentioned, we do resonate with the smaller, medium-sized businesses. Mm-hmm. We are trying to get into the enterprise space, and I think the bigger enterprises are now beginning to see the advantages that we offer. But I mean, they have much larger IT budgets, much larger IT teams, and they can focus on working with the big boys, I guess. And I think their solution's a little bit more complex and complicated and requires more manpower. But I think that is one of my goals is to move into the larger enterprise space.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go into next. Give our audience, if you will, some of the milestones that you've accomplished and where you are and what you're going to do with the company going forward.
Okay, so Thinspace over the past couple of years has merged with other companies, and it started as a software company and then picked up a hardware company. So one of the milestones and the accomplishments that we've done recently is merge and integrate these solutions together so that we can become a fully integrated solution. Going forward, we have SkySpace 2.0 on the horizon. It's my goal to get it out this quarter. And once we do that, we're going to leverage the channel partner program that we had with some of the previous companies that we've merged, mm-hmm. And then also I want to grow that program and help us go to market using a channel partner program.
So from that statement, it seems to me that you're in an acquisition mode where you're actively seeking new channel partners, new technologies to come in underneath your umbrella.
Right. I mean, we are looking for channel partners that understand the technology and have a customer base where we can deploy this. And yes, we are looking at other technologies that have solutions that complement what we offer to build a more complete solution. I mean, we've been focusing on simplicity and delivering, relevant functionality. But as this space continues to grow, there are new solutions that we feel, it might be easier for us to integrate that into our solution stack instead of building from scratch.
What are some of the hurdles that you see that you're looking to overcome when it comes to functionality? People using Thinspace or SkySpace in the future. You mentioned 2.0. What's it going to do better?
2.0. It kind of gets to be a technical discussion, but one, we're improving the high availability for 2.0. We're improving what we call the VM provisioning. It's the ability to provision and start new desktops. We're making that simple. Even with a 1,000-unit deployment with centralized computing, there still may be some manual touching of 1,000 desktops. Not physical desktops, but the virtual desktops. With what we're doing in 2.0, we make that easier and less manual and brute force type of a process. We can scale it and replicate these desktops easier.
Okay, all right. We're about at the end of our last segment with you. Are there any events coming up where you're going to be making appearances, or your team is going to be out in the public?
Actually. Citrix Synergy is next week, and we don't have a booth there, but we are working with one of our partners, mm-hmm. and we're going to be there in Orlando, Florida.
Great.
Next week.
Take the suntan lotion. I hope that,
yeah.
I'd like to be out there. All right. Before we go, we've got to go. This great interview. Thank you so much for coming on to the show, Chris. It's been a pleasure. But contact information for you, for anybody that needs more information about what SkySpace and what Thinspace does.
Our website, contact info is www.thinspace.com.
Perfect. And THNS for the stock symbol?
That's right.
Perfect. Chris, thanks so much for being on the show, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. All right, Chris Bautista, Thinspace Technology, thinspace.com. Symbol on this company is THNS. Up next on the other side of this break, we're going to come back with Armando Santilli, CEO, Magnin Gas Corporation. You've got to see the video on this one. We'll be right back.